Welcome to EoZTV. I'm Elder.
Mrs. Elder.
And today we're recording this now on the night of the 25th of Christmas. And I just thought I would go through my tweets. I did a lot of tweeting over the past day, including this Merry Christmas tweet that you can see over here. But I just did a lot of it. And I just wanted to quickly go through the tweets. Some of them turned into posts. Some of them didn't. But I just thought, let's go through it quickly and catch up on what's going on today.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
No problem.
Yeah. Something last night that happened is the night of the 24th that I was very amused by. This person, Rafael Shimunov, is one of the co-founders of If Not Now, the very anti-Israel group that recently just disrupted a number of people going to Israel on birthright. Did you hear about that?
No, tell me about it.
What happened was, and then I have a couple of tweets about this also. Again, the kids that were leaving on birthright, they were harassing them before they left, and what they did.
We're at JFK,
I guess, and then actually during the trip, they started harassing the people that were giving the tours. They claimed, "Oh, we were just asking questions." But from everybody that went on birthright that that we could read about afterwards, people always ask questions. Kids are always asking questions to things,
Sure.
and they're sometimes difficult questions. They'll ask about Palestinians, they'll ask about the separation barrier, they'll ask about whatever, and the people will answer it. Whether they like the answers or not is a different story, but they're going to answer it. Obviously, birthright's coming from a Zionist perspective, but this group of three people were obviously from this organization, If Not Now. They clearly took this free trip to Israel, and they and with the intent of disrupting it, and then claiming to the world, "Oh, look, these guys aren't being honest about anything."
At their expense. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, at their expense. They take the free trip to Israel. If you guys want to go to Israel, your own money. If you want to get Soros to pay for it, that's fine. But if you're going on the trip, you go according to the rules of the trip. But at any rate, this is a different thing. So this guy's one of the founders of If Not Now, but he's upset at J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is the author, of course, of Harry Potter. And she's been very active on Twitter. I don't have any examples over here, but she's been very active defending Jews, especially in England, from the anti-Semitism of the Labour Party in England that's headed by Jeremy Corbyn. And
you got to hand it to her. At least she's doing it.
She's doing a great job. She actually wrote this very long piece yesterday. Again, I don't have it in front of me, but she wrote this very long piece making fun effectively of Corbyn, writing it in a biblical way. And
you should have put that up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
That would have been great.
It's a long thing, and it's sort of peripheral to what we're doing. But at any rate, she's her consistent pointing out of the anti-Semitism of Labour upset this guy Rafael Shimunov from from If Not Now.
Poor
so,
Rafael.
but he did a very interesting thing. He says, "We get it. You included viciously anti-Semitic scenes in Harry Potter that destroyed Jewish kids who loved you, and now they're grown up, and you think you can make it up by using right-wing Netanyahu talking points about Corbyn, but that's also anti-Semitic." It's like, what? What are you talking about? What scenes from Harry Potter? I was an adult when Harry Potter came out already, but I read the books carefully. My kids read the books. Hey,
those were my kids too.
Exactly. Our kids read the books. They were big fans. We watched the movies. What the hell are you talking about? That the movies and the books are anti-Semitic?
Hey, he's just trying to get media attention.
It was very funny. So if you actually look at his timeline, he doubled down on that. He was like, "Ooh, look what's happening. Here's Gringotts Bank. There's a Jewish star there. Look.
Why don't you play it?
Yeah, who cares?
Okay.
Here you can play. You can find out. You can play it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Ooh. There's a Jewish star that they're walking on top of. Ooh. And then the person claims, it's very funny because I read his link as far as, here's the description of all of the stuff that's being done that's viciously anti-Semitic. And there was, the pattern on the floor has Jewish stars, and more than one. They only saw one. There's two of them that's in there. And and they're looking at they're looking at the scene. The scene's like on for like 8 seconds, and they're looking at the scene very carefully, saying, "Oh, look what's happening!" And like, "Oh, there's the star over there. Oh, they're walking past it, but there was a star before in the middle, but now they're walking to the star but they didn't see the other star." But when Harry's there,
how could a star on the floor be
right?
anti-Semitic?
I know it's a regular. The star is a pattern. You see 6-pointed stars all over the place. It's not only a Jewish thing. And then they claim this guy. This guy is clearly he's a Jew. because he has a long hook nose and he's got the ears, and that's the stereotypical problem of a Jew. And he likes money, of course. So that's what. So this is anti-Semitic.
Is this the guy that they thought had payas?
Yeah. They claimed that he had payas later on.
Oh my God!
Now the funny thing is, he's a goblin. Okay, J.K. Rowling has all sorts of mythical tree creatures in there, but she bases it on what the mythical creatures are. You go to Wikipedia about goblins, and it says monstrous creature from European folklore, attested in stories of Middle Ages, describe various conflicting abilities, temperaments, and appearances depending on the story. Sorry, small and grotesque, mischievous, and outright religious, and greedy, especially for gold and jewelry. So goblins are greedy. They like gold and jewelry. They're perfect bankers, but of course, this person is claiming, because they used goblins for the bank, that they must have been Jews. And
Absolutely.
And then when he looks down at Harry Potter, you can see a tiny bit. Anybody watching this would not notice that this was a Jewish star. You'd have to have looked very carefully.
I don't even see it.
It was over here. Here, you see?
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying to you.
You would never have noticed that. You would never have noticed this. But, you're going back over here for the little bit when the scene just started. At the very, very beginning here, there was a star here, and over there, if you blow it up. I
think that's great.
If you blow it up, there's a star here, and there's a star there. But it's...
I like the design, though. Come on.
It's a pretty good design. And this guy, Shimunov, is like going, ooh, here's the complete clip. And then they say the star's removed in following films. It is. I'm not sure why. And they removed his payas because the Orthodox. And he says, if you look at the YouTube comments, you see everybody on YouTube, all because YouTube has the stupidest commenters on the planet, just so you know. But a lot of anti-Semites do look at that, and they see the Jewish thing on it. So because the anti-Semites do, no, he sees these Jewish stuff too, so he must be an anti-Semite as well. Because give me a break. There's nothing anti-Semitic about it. It's insane, and so I don't think the court joking that she hates Jews. Of course, she doesn't hate Jews. She's on record as saying that Lord Voldemort, the bad guy in Harry Potter, was based partially on Hitler. She has a Jewish character who was one of the good guys in the books, Anthony Goldstein. She has, this is crazy to even think that that this is anti-Semitic, and J.K. Rowling was
one of those media things to try to reverse everything.
I know, but it's very funny that he's like, it destroyed Jewish kids. Who even noticed this stuff? Are you crazy? It was very, very funny. I was very amused by this. Yeah, I got a lot of hits on this one. It was crazy.
It's a shame, actually, because what they're doing is that they're taking J.K. Rowling's work and trying to degrade it.
Right.
And
then later on, he also mentioned, and here was this guy retweeted this. He says, I'm not calling J.K. Rowling an anti-Semite. We all do anti-Semitism. It was like, maybe you do. I don't think we all do anti-Semitism. It's ridiculous. So,
well, he's talking from the heart. At least he's being honest.
Yes, and he's showing that he's the one that sees Jewish conspiracies all over the place,
and he's very anti-Semitic.
Which is the reason. He's Jewish, I'm sure, but that's the reason he's at If Not Now, because
it's such a shame because it's like, what does he have against it?
It's
another topic.
That sure is another topic. Let's just quickly go through the rest of the news because there is a lot of stuff that was going on in the past day. I had an article over here, and you could see it on my blog, but I saw that the Palestinian soccer team, or football as it's known in Europe and Israel, their official nickname is the Fedayeen. Fedayeen are the names of the terrorists of the Palestinians from the 1950s through the 1970s. They're called the Fedayeen.
How disgusting.
It means essentially commando. So when you look at the Munich Olympic massacre, they refer to the people that were the terrorists there as the Fedayeen.
I'm shaking my head.
I know. In the 1950s, the original Fedayeen were the ones that would infiltrate into Israel. They started off only stealing stuff, but then they ended up doing things like actually killing people, and those were the original ones. But it's in Palestinian way of thinking, they're heroes, and but they're actual terrorists. Munich Olympics, all the airplane hijackers were called the Fedayeen.
And I'll bet you nobody knows that, do they?
I don't know, but I just happened to notice it, and I verified it on Wikipedia that is in fact the nickname of the team, not the official name of the team, but it's the nickname. Let's talk back about If Not Now, about the people that because this is a good catch by somebody else named JC in the library. One of the people that was on the If Not Now trip said over here back in July, sounds like a cool program, but they've taken 500 people to 4 countries in over 10 years. he wouldn't, even with 10 times bigger, wouldn't begin to balance out Birthright's mass scale propaganda. So this person is talking about how terrible Birthright is and the mass scale propaganda. So if you don't like our community's billion-dollar brainwashing program, Start Your Own doesn't resonate with me. But he clearly is against Birthright. And here's what he tweeted after he's on the trip. Oh, it's surreal. I woke up on Birthright Israel trip by 3 p.m. They kicked me out. Oh, what a surprise. I had nothing against it. I'm complete innocent. There's nothing wrong. How could it happen to me? I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, poor baby.
And it's the same guy. It's clearly the same guy who was talking about how terrible Birthright. If it was so terrible, why did you go on the trip? Oh, we all know why you went on the trip.
Because it was free and he wanted to, get some slander going on there.
Exactly. This person named Queen's Mom, she's been doing some fantastic stuff, exposing things in the Women's March. And she's been making
that Women's March drives me up a wall.
I know, but she's been making these great threads about it on Twitter. So last Friday, I took one of the threads and I made it into a post. Over here, I put it in there's something called a great tool called Thread Reader, which takes all these tweets and turns it into essentially its own post there. And you can, again, I'm not going to go into detail here, but like she's quoting Linda Sarsour saying, only one leader of the Women's March was at one of Minister Farrakhan's speeches. And she's like, no. Here's video where I can show all three of you spoke at a rally of his. And, this is complete lies, and she just rips them apart.
I know. I think that's great.
Queen's Mom is fantastic. She really is. And then she just keeps going on and on, like... You're
going to have to tweet this out to show that you like her work.
Oh, I did actually. I said...
No, I meant of this podcast. You'll have to tell her that we were talking about it.
Okay, fine. I actually I had a couple of messages with her earlier today because I was complimenting her on it, and she was happy that I gave her some extra publicity, so that was cool. I like being able to use whatever platform I have over here to help other bloggers and tweeters and stuff like that. If I can help amplify the theme, it's great. This was a great article also. That was in the History News Network. That was a response. I had noticed last week an incredibly stupid article defending Alice Walker. Alice Walker, as you will recall, was interviewed by the New York Times earlier this week, maybe or last week.
I think it was last week.
It was last week, in which she said that she read this book by David Icke. He's this absolute anti-Semite, and where he talks that lizards, reptiles are running the world, but he talks about the protocols of elders of Zion as if they're real, and then she herself is an anti-Semite. She has a poem about the Talmud in which she says in the poem that Jews are taught from birth in order to enslave Goyim and to kill the best of Goyim, and there's like ridiculous stuff. And she helpfully says in the poem, when it says Goyim, it means us, because obviously Jews aren't the people that are going to be reading any of her stuff. Us versus them. Jews are the them. She is an absolute anti-Semite.
I know, but the thing is that you're missing the point. Make sure that you explain it a little bit more, because I think that you should really go into that just a little bit more.
Well, I did I have a post on it.
I know that, and I'm just saying to you, while you have it up now, I think that you should give a little bit of history.
What I want to say is this History News Network, which I was very surprised at because it's the second very problematic article they had in a week, did have a response. This person, Gil Troy, who's a really good professor, I believe in Montreal, if I remember correctly. McGill University, I'm correct, that is right. He wrote a great rejoinder to this thing and said exactly what's wrong with her. And again, I'm not going to spend too much time. You can read it, but it is a really, really great response. Going on here. Oh, yeah, this is going back to Birthright. Again, obviously in Twitter, I'm not doing things in an organized way. But,
no, that's fine. Continue.
But I found
it's interesting.
I found an article from JTA last July, the first time that, if not now, interrupted one of the Birthright tours, and in the JTA they said, "Hey, here's exactly what happens when you ask questions," and they answer them. We can go there as well. It says, "Here's how Birthright guides talk about to the Palestinians and talk about it," and they say it's important to talk about, and they say JTA.
Take it slowly. You're going a little too fast.
Sorry, It's but it's just, it talks about it says what sort of certifications the tour guides have, and what exactly they have to do, and they specifically aren't meant to be talking about politics, but But people, it's not like Birthright has rules of what they're going to say. Some of the different Birthright organizers are going to be more into it. Some of them are going to be less. But, you know, and they're obviously talking from an Israeli perspective. They don't run away from these topics.
So what's the point?
So the point is, but these guys are saying, oh, you know, they would refuse to answer questions and kick them off. They don't refuse to answer questions. They'll answer any question. Now, there was another tweet I had, probably before the ones I'm talking over here, and it did actually very well, in which I said, Birthright really should handle these topics. It should go directly into it. It should go to Hebron and talk about, you know, how the Jews were sniped, you know, the snipers were killing Jewish babies and stuff like that. There's nothing that you shouldn't run away from it. But nevertheless,
was there anybody that commented on that?
What
were the? Yeah, I know, but liking it. But did they have any other opinions or any other suggestions?
There were, I mean, people that lived in Israel say they've been saying the same sort of thing for years. We'll get to it. Here was a joke from the Mossad, but it's let me just, again, I'm not going to go through every single tweet. This was this was UNRWA.
UNRWA.
UNRWA's
again.
fun. UN Watch yesterday saw that UNRWA had tweeted in support of a Palestinian terrorist, a person that was a spokesperson for the PFLP in the early 1970s, and they said, you know, he was a
You
noted.
should describe what PFLP is.
PFLP is one of the terror groups, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. One of the.
Thank you very much. I just think that you should be more definitive.
Thank you. I will try.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and so nevertheless, I decided, okay, they said, and then UN and UNRWA apologized and said, oh, it was somebody else who got access to the Twitter account, and we changing the password. However, I looked up the same. Yeah, I know, and I think it was. And I looked it up. This guy, Ghassan Kanafani, is the name of the person that they mentioned. So I decided to look if they mentioned that person anywhere else. And it turns out in Lebanon, there's a Ghassan Kanafani Cultural Center, which is being, you know, they'll partner with it. UNRWA calls it their partner. And if you go to their webpage in Arabic, this is this is my translation of it. But if you go to their webpage in Arabic, they say the idea of coexistence with the Jews is an absolutely heretical idea. In truth, Shylock takes and does not give, nor does he coexist with anyone. And the Palestinians would rather be dead than kneeling to the Jews is the way you do it. And of course, they say that Israel must be destroyed completely. So UNRWA is partnering with an organization that explicitly says Israel must be destroyed and Jews should have nothing to do, should have nothing to do with the area.
Isn't UNRWA getting a little bit destroyed? They losing a little bit of funding?
They're losing a little bit of funding, but they actually made a lot of it back. Europe.
You're kidding me.
No. Yeah. Europe gave, different European countries, and I think some Arab countries made up almost all of the shortfall.
Hey, at least it's not coming from America.
That's true, but
taxpayer dollars aren't going to the anti-Semitism.
I know, people are crazy. Here was a pretty good joke from preoccupied territory saying the Women's March lobbies FDR to turn away the St. Louis refugee ship, which of course was filled with Jews, and America did turn it away, but they're saying that they should do it because it was actually it was a funny article, but I'm not into that.
Finish your thought.
Okay, I'll finish it. He said, let's bring it up. They said that they sent letters to FDR not to admit the boat full of Jewish refugees because of the negative impact of adding even more privileged whites to the population. Of course, the Women's March say that Jews are all privileged whites. And the reason it's such a great joke is because here's a refugee ship where nobody would take the Jews in. These supposedly privileged white Jews, nobody would take them in. And
hey, they're going against the whites now in America. What can I tell you?
That's true too. But that's in other words, what these people are saying, especially the people from the Women's March, are saying, and not just that, are saying that if you're white, by definition, you're racist. There's no way around it. So
I think they've got it reversed.
And I can't argue because I'm white, so therefore I'm racist. So
I guess I can't argue either.
Well, you're a woman, so you're a little bit higher in the intersectionality calculator.
I know. You know what we need to be talking about?
Yeah.
Remember that
I know the calculator.
Oh, man, that was great.
Thank you.
That was one of the best. That is so true. It's not even funny. Yeah, let's do a show on that.
Okay, if we can.
No, that's a good one.
Okay. Let's just quickly go back up and see what else we have over here. Oh, yeah, so I did ask for donations, which was always fun.
Donations are always good. Make sure to donate. Mrs. Elder is requesting. We need your help.
Okay, and here's a picture of the Green Guts Bank again because somebody was asking me the specifics. So I put it up. This thing was very irritating. This is a a Christmas message from the Holy Land, which is the Netherlands, the Palestinian mission to Netherlands, puts out a Christmas card in which it shows Santa Claus. Let's make it bigger. It shows Santa Claus giving gifts to the kids, but there's barbed wire in between. So,
that is disturbing.
Yeah, so he has like peace doves going over the barbed wire. So again, even a stupid Christmas card, they have to put in a political message saying, "Oh, Israel is putting these people in prison." So this is a Christmas card.
I think it's reversed and nobody gets it. You know, they're absolutely being watched, you know, brainwashed as to what's really going on there. And it's like a media takeover, and it's disgusting.
It sort of is, because if you look at most of the Jewish settlements are the ones that are actually surrounded by fences, because
I agree.
They have to be protect themselves.
Protected, yeah. And the thing is that it's like they always come out in the media, and it's always reverse of what the reality is, and people fall for it. It's disgusting. Come on, everybody, wake up. Sorry, I had to throw my little 2 cents in there.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Hold on. Oh no, I lost my place. But okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Now this was I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. Hold
Pizza.
on. I know. I missed one of my replies. Ken Roth. I have to go back to my over here if I can find it.
Take your time. Slow down.
I know,
Easy
but it's
does it.
here. It is. There was a tweet from Ken Roth which really bugged me. Ken Roth, from Human Rights Watch, tweeted that the Saudi Crown Prince's government seems to have helped this Saudi national, this guy, evade justice in Oregon for a hit-and-run killing of a 15-year-old girl. Now the Saudi government won't send him back for trial. So I wrote to him and I said, just curious, has Human Rights Watch ever demanded that Jordan send Al-Ahlam Tamimi to the U.S. for the Sbarro pizza shop bombing? Because Ahlam Tamimi is that woman who was a proud terrorist. She was released from Israel in a prisoner swap. She's a free person in Jordan right now. She's a hero in Jordan. She goes on TV for killing Jews. She smiles whenever she's asked about it. And the U.S. has an extradition treaty with Jordan. Jordan should be sending it over.
Absolutely.
And Jordan is protecting her. So I said, I don't recall you ever mentioning it or showing photos of the victims. Do you think she should remain free and protected? And of course, I copied Arnold Roth, whose daughter Malki was actually murdered in that Sbarro pizza shop bombing. And he wrote back to me saying, lest Ken Roth ignores you, which of course he's going to, I can answer, HRW has done zero to push Jordan to respect its 1995 U.S. treaty obligations by extraditing the FBI most wanted mastermind of the massacre, Ahlam Tamimi. And the same is true of numerous organizations with the word justice emblazoned in their websites. Here's a picture of Malki Roth and her brother, her little brother, or sister, I'm sorry, his younger sister, who was a special needs child. And Malki was an amazing person. She really was. She was, I went to, when we were in Israel a couple of years ago.
I know they did that.
We went to the concert.
Yeah.
That was, fundraiser for the fund that for Malki. And one of the high points of the concert and one of the most emotional points of the concert was they sang a song that she wrote. When they were mourning her, when they were sitting Shiva, her classmates said, she wrote a song that she didn't end up entering in the school competition, and the parents didn't even know that she wrote this song. And it was this really happy, upbeat song about peace and about people living together. And what the kids did is they ended up distributing it around the country, and all these people made different versions of the song.
Well, that's beautiful. Stupid question. Do we have the link so that they can donate to that organization? Is there a way to find it real quick?
Karen Malki is, Arnold Roth is do this.
I don't want to catch you off guard. That's fine.
Yeah, we could. I'm sure I could find it. Here's the blog. If you go to his blog, which is thisongoingwar.blogspot.com, I'm sure from there you can get to the Malki Foundation. Here it is.
There it is, because I was going to say to you,
Karen Malki, it's what it's called. Yeah, KarenMalki.org is an entire foundation of helping out kids based in memory of Malki Roth.
I just thought it needed a bit of a mention because I got to tell you something. It is a shame. It is a shame.
It is. And then, of course, I answered back to him. I said, how did I know the hypocritical Roth and Human Rights Watch wouldn't lift a finger for getting justice from a proud terrorist who targeted Israeli Jewish children? He's beneath contempt, and I really believe that. It would cost him nothing to tweet about it, but he never will because he hates Israel that much. Again, he has a platform. He tweets like 20 times a day, Ken Roth, and he can't find people. He definitely reads all the tweets that are sent to him, and he can't find it in himself to just send out a tweet saying, hey, Jordan really should try to do justice with this person, with this terrorist.
This goes back to the anti-Semitism. He's literally, from what I can tell, is he Jewish?
Oh, he is.
And the question is it what happened that he has a hatred so bad that he actually wants to destroy? It's disgusting.
I don't know. I wish I knew the answer.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Let's
I see
continue.
that beautiful picture coming
this
up.
picture. What happened was, I just thought it was funny. A Fatah official today said that Jesus was the first Palestinian. Every year on Christmas, the Palestinians say that, you know, Jesus was a Palestinian, or he was the first Palestinian martyr. Over here, this is a new one. He said that Jesus was the first Palestinian, and Palestinian Media Watch has all the details. So when I heard that, I just said, I got to see what Jesus would have looked like. I have to make a picture of what Jesus would have looked like as the first Palestinian. So here's Jesus as a Hamas terrorist.
I certainly hope you're not offending anybody.
I hope I'm not offending anybody either, but I think the whole point of it is, if anybody should be offended, if any Christian is offended, they shouldn't be offended by the picture. They should be offended by the idea that
Hamas is,
that Fatah. Well, this is Fatah. Yeah, that Palestinians are claiming that Jesus was a Palestinian. It's just
they're
absurd.
trying to rewrite the whole entire world just so that they can further their disgusting.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. Anyway, those are my tweets for the last day. And I think that we're going to have to wind things down right now.
No problem. What is it? What is the Karen Foundation?
You want to go back to it? Sure.
Yeah, I want to go back, so I want people to know. So
yeah,
it's
Karen
the Karen
Malky.
Malky.
Yep.
Make sure you can donate to Karen Malky, and also don't forget us. Make sure that you donate and go on the page. We can always use your help. We need to hear back from you. So let's go ahead and call this one.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. So for now, let's just go back here to my tweets. And you can see my logo. So for signing off for now, and I'm not sure where we're going to put this up. It's tonight or tomorrow since we just put up a blog post. But for now, I'm Elder.
And I'm Mrs. Elder. Don't forget to help us.
Okay, thanks a lot. Take care. Good night.